Come on in, everyone. Come on in. I should be live now. Let's check us out and see if we're working. Hello, hello. I'm so glad you are all here. Come on in and say hello when you get here. Just gonna look for us really quick. If I can find the group. Oh. Let me look on my computer because the group is not even coming up on my phone. Hang on. Cannot see if I am live. And I don't see any comments. So let's see. I'm just still trying to find us to see if we're live. Haven't found us yet. How are all of you doing? I have been extremely ill for the last 7 days. So excuse me if I sniff, cough, or sneeze, or any of those kind of things. Let's see. Are we live? It says I'm live, but I do not see us. Can somebody that I know, please let me know if I'm live. Because I don't see anything. Oh, yes. Okay. I'm working. Thank you. Can you hear me? Okay. Oh, yes. Okay. All right. I'm working. Thank you. Sorry. All right. Please let me know if you can hear me and everything is okay. Everything seemed to be going crazy for a minute. Can you still hear me? Because I just hit my mute button and I don't know if I am still. Yes, my audio is good. Okay, great. Thank you so much. I have too many things going on right now, and I just got off of another live, and I'm recouping and getting there. All right. Thank you all very much for being patient with me. I'm sorry I've been really ill and just getting over the flu. I still kind of have it actually, but you're not going to catch it through the screen. So we're all good. Hello, Miss Ellen and Miss Pat and Latrice and Cindy and Robin and Carrie, Lori. Thank you all for being here tonight and for joining us in our Owl-Rageous fall workshop. So I'm so excited that all of you are here. Elizabeth Rhodes Studio and I have been doing these little collab projects for a couple of years now, usually for either spring or fall or Christmas, something like that. And since I have a membership that promotes acrylic painting, and I teach acrylic painting in all of my classes there. And she has a membership that teaches glass and resin in all of her classes there. What we decided to do is come in together, and I teach the acrylic part of it, and she teaches the glass and resin part, because I am, excuse me, I am an acrylic painter, and that's as far as I go. I don't add all of the sparkly, which is very beautiful, and I really like it a lot. I think Elizabeth does a great job, but I usually stop with the acrylic painting part. So I just wanted to introduce myself. If you've never seen any of my work or know who I am, my name is Ginger LaCour. I live in Louisiana. I'm born and raised in Louisiana. We took a little siesta for 3 years and we moved to Montana to live in the mountains for a while, a few years back. And now we are back because we are grandparents and we have family here. And, you know, being on the top of a mountain is wonderful. But living on the top of a mountain and having your family 3,000 miles away is not as wonderful as you think it is. So anyway, that's just a little bit about myself. I am a retired high school math and higher ed teacher. And I started Jen's Den Art as a hobby in 2016. And it has grown to be something that has basically become a full-time job. And I love it. I love it. I love it. It's a stress-free full-time job. So what Elizabeth and I decided to do this time around in this collaborative project is we wanted to do a little bonus painting with all of you before we actually do the big project. I don't have the big project in front of me because Elizabeth has it. She's the one that finished it up with the glass and resin. But I'm just going to remind you, this is the big project. This is what we are going to be working on tomorrow. And what's tomorrow? Wednesday. Wednesday, I'm going to be teaching you the painting component of it. And Thursday, Elizabeth is going to be teaching you the glass and resin component of it. So today is basically just, we're going to do two things in my little live today. And then Elizabeth is going to come on live at 8 o'clock right after I'm done. Elizabeth is going to come on as well. And she's got a little bonus surprise. And she's going to talk to y'all as well about a few things tonight. Okay? So, hello, Sandra Lee and Fisher Wright and Lori and Cheryl and Donna. I know so many of these names. I'm so glad you're here. Y'all are all here. Hi, Miss Linda. I miss you so much. Hello, Miss Paula. Miss Paula, each day will be an hour for me, and I'm guessing right around an hour, 45 minutes to an hour each day. Tonight is two different lives. This one, which is going to be about 45 minutes to an hour, and then Elizabeth is going to be on after. But you have access to the replays, so you can watch the replays 24/7 for an entire year. Okay, so don't worry about that. Okay, so let me get my screen. Yeah, that's what I wanted to show you. So what we're going to do tonight is we're going to use, I'm going to break this up. Hopefully I have time to do both. I'm going to use, this is what I call a shelf sitter. The reason why I call it a shelf sitter is because that's basically what it does. It can sit on a shelf without having to be hung. And this is a 5x5 wooden piece. I just took it out of the wrapping a second ago. I don't know what I did with the wrapping, but I buy these. Here we go. I buy these from blick.com. They are called wood panels. Actually, this one says it's a 6x6. I wanted it to be a 5x5. I must have pulled the wrong one, but that's okay. We'll just use the 6x6. You know when you're not feeling well, like everything is foggy. It's kind of how I feel right now. So if I do something or say something that seems a little off, please forgive me. Okay. Excuse me. Something else that I'm going to do with y'all is I'm going to go over the what I expect you to have ready for, let me show you this real quick. What I expect you to have ready if you were painting with me so that we don't take too long to do the painting for tomorrow. I'm just going to go over some prep work with you on what I would expect you to have ready. We're going to just do some prep work for our piece for tomorrow. But first, I am going to talk to you about our supplies that I'm going to use, that we're actually going to use for both pieces. The bonus, I wanted to make sure that the bonus provided you with not having to buy anything new. Okay. So in order to make sure that I'm using the only supplies that I've already told you that we're going to be using, I'm just going to go ahead and make sure that whatever I paint tonight is going to use the same colors that's on that sheet. So on that sheet, I have titanium white, Mars black, cadmium orange, basically any color orange that you want your pumpkin to be. Okay, it could be a burnt orange, it could be a bright orange, it could be red orange, whatever you want. Okay, a light blue permanent, again, any color you want your pumpkin to be. The pumpkin that we're going to be painting is like that medium blue that you see there. So that's why I said light blue permanent. It's kind of like a, I'll show it to you. It's this color here. That's the color that I used to get that blue pumpkin. Okay, burnt sienna, which is basically it's like a brownish orange. It's like a brownish orange. Okay, burnt umber. Oh, let me grab my burnt umber. I have it right here. Burnt umber is basically like a chocolate brown. So any color chocolate brown you have, you don't have to use a certain brand. You could use craft paints. I just don't personally use craft paints anymore because most of my paintings now are more on the higher, like I sell my artwork, and so I use higher end paintings. I guess I'm saying I do more fine art than I do craft art. So I use some of the better paints, but you don't have to do that at all. You can use any paints that you have, any acrylic paints that you have. Sap green, which is a really dark green, a super, super dark green, like a hunter green. But again, if you don't want that green in your painting, you can use a different green. And Naples yellow, which is a really pretty, I'll show it to you now. It's a really almost like a soft yellow. Okay. So those are the colors that we're going to be using tonight. And just any paintbrushes will do. I love using these flat paintbrushes like this. I'm going to need something a little bigger tonight, so I'm going to grab it. Working on this. Okay, to start off, I'm going to use something a little bigger. Let me grab a few of those. All right, so what I'm going to do is start putting my paints down. And I'm going to start with my blue. That's that color that we're going to use tomorrow as well. Let me put a little bit of black. Very little. This piece is going to be small, so let's see if I have any of this left. Oh, yes, I have plenty of that left. Naples yellow, cadmium orange. I'm probably putting way more paint than I need. Burnt sienna, but we're going to have fun with this. And y'all are going to have access to the replays. This is burnt umber. And these are all the same exact colors that we're going to be using tomorrow, but I'm just going to use them tonight instead in our little painting. This is sap green. And of course, I think that's the last one. This is my titanium white. Now, I'm going to put a few little blobs of white. And the reason why I do that is because, I'll show you what I did. I put 3 little blobs of white because I use white a lot and I contaminate one. If I just put one little area of white, I end up contaminating my white with other colors, and then that white gets all dirty. So I always like to give myself a few clean blobs of white there so that I don't dirty it all up all the time. So when we paint our, I'm looking to see if Oh, good. Hey, how are you feeling? Hello, Jen. Oh, thank you so much, Miss Patty. You are so sweet. I hope I feel better too. I'm actually on the mend. I'm actually a lot better than I was um, last week at this time. It was not good. So I have not gotten the flu shot yet, and I guess that's what grabbed me before I had time to get my annual flu shot. So what I'm doing right now is I'm taking my blue, and I have a really large brush, like extremely large, and I'm taking like very, very little blue and a lot of white. And you can see that I'm going to put this on my wood here, and you can almost not even see the blue. And this is basically very similar to the same color that I am going to be using to paint the owl. That background color is made with almost the same shades. I'm going to grab just a teeny bit of black. That's way too much black, but I'm going to make it work. And I'm going to mix it in that blue. And I'm going to need some more white, obviously. So I'm working on wood here. I love to work on wood. But I also like to work on just your regular canvases. Nothing special. I'm going to zoom in just a little bit. Just your regular cotton canvases that you get at your local craft stores, or I order most of my art supplies that I use. I order on blick.com. Excuse me. And I'm just going to use that. And then I'm also going to, maybe we'll do something fun on the sides. I don't know, because you have these really thick sides here, and they're a lot of fun to decorate if you want to, add some more, like maybe some little stripes on the sides or things like that. But what I'm trying to do with this piece for you is I'm trying to make it to where it's kind of like a little set of, like you have your big Owl-Rageous piece that we're going to be creating tomorrow. And then this one here is going to kind of blend in with it some, so that you kind of feel like they can go together in your house. And I'm being really stingy with my paint right now. I don't know why. Sometimes I overuse paint, and sometimes I'm like, I can't get enough paint on my paintbrush. And this is one of those times. So, did you gesso the board before the blue? No, ma'am, I did not. I used it straight out of the package, which is just which is why it's the paint. Like if you notice how hard the paint is to move, that's because it's on wood. And when you use wood like that and you didn't gesso it, as soon as you put that paint down on that wood, it just absorbs right through. So I'm going to show you close up so you can see. Hopefully I can get it to zoom. Yeah, there you go. You can see what it looks like. Oh, I forgot to do the top. Let me go back. I'm just talking away and not paying attention, or having that old foggy mind that I have right now. Things just don't seem to make sense. Today we're trying to put together this new outdoor patio furniture that we bought, and I love putting stuff together. Like, just taking all of the screws and all that stuff out, and then figuring out, where the arms are and the legs, and putting them together. I love doing that kind of stuff because it comes really easy for me. I can kind of like put all the pieces together. Excuse me. And today, none of it could make sense to me. I'm like, I can't think straight. Like, things just don't seem to be working. All of the screws in my head are not screwed in all the way. So, anyway, that's just the fun of what I've been going through lately. Okay, so I'm going to add some more white because I used all of my white on just the background. All right. So y'all are probably still wondering, well, what am I painting? What am I painting? I'm actually going to be painting a little acorn scene. So what I'm going to do right now, sorry, my voice is just going out. What I'm going to do right now is I'm going to take a small paintbrush and I'm going to draw. I'm not providing a template because this is like really easy for y'all to just draw out. I'm going to zoom in. Well, that's all I can zoom in actually with this camera that I have. So I'm going to draw this out. And this is just, I don't have anything I'm looking at. I'm just going to draw this out and let y'all kind of figure it out as you go. So this is going to be a branch. I'm using white and black and a paintbrush. This is going to be a branch. I'm going to have a couple of branches. I'm going to have one acorn doing this. This is going to be the top of the acorn. Right here. Kind of like a little hat. And then this is going to be, y'all can draw this. This is not hard. It's just kind of like a little hat. Okay, and this is going to be the acorn itself. Something like that. All right. I'm going to have another acorn going the other way, but I'm not going to be able to see as much of it. So I'm going to have this. Maybe like that. And then that one's going to go that way. Okay? Does that kind of look like two acorns there? I'm going to put a few little leaves in here as well. But we're going to keep this super loose. So there is there's no stress in this at all. Everything is going to be super loose. What I'm doing right now is I'm not trying to draw out exactly what I'm painting. I am just kind of sketching where I want things to go. This looks a little empty to me, so I'm going to add maybe a little. I don't want it to be too big. Maybe another little leaf down here. Coming off of the page. Maybe I will wrap this leaf. Maybe I'll make the leaf come around here. And this leaf will come around here. So all I'm doing is just kind of mapping out where I want things to go. All right. And now I'm just going to go ahead and attack it. And I'm going to move on to a number 6. It doesn't matter what number it is. It's about as wide as my index finger. Okay, so it's a flat brush. I like to use flat brushes on almost everything I do. And I'm just going to go in strong with this burnt sienna. I'm going to take my burnt sienna. And if you're not familiar with acrylic paint, so I'm just going to take my paint and I'm going to load up both sides of this flat paintbrush by pulling the paint from the little hill that it makes. And I'm just going to pull from the edge. I'm going to pull some paint onto there. Okay. And I'm going to take that paint. And I'm going to start bringing it onto my acorn. Now this is a super dark acorn at the moment, but it's not going to be that dark in the end. This is just the first layer. Just basically blocking in my colors is what I like to call that. So I'm just filling in like the body of the acorn with one color. Okay, you can see what I did there. All right, and then I'm going to take some of that Naples yellow. I did not clean my paintbrush off. I'm going to take some of that Naples yellow, and as I move my paintbrush back and forth, you can see that it's kind of mixing with that burnt sienna some. And I'm going to bring that Naples yellow on top. While the paint's still wet, I'm just I'm blending the paint on my palette, on my painting here. And I'm bringing in some lighter colors to my acorn. I'm hardly pressing. I'm letting the paintbrush just kind of move on top, but I'm hardly pressing. Okay, and then I'm going to go, I didn't clean my paintbrush off again. I'm going to go into the burnt umber. I'm going to take the corner of my paintbrush, and I'm going to start bringing in that top to the acorns. And the top is basically, it looks kind of like a bunch of little bitty seeds. And so what I'm doing to make that is I'm using the side of the paintbrush, like the corner. I'm just tapping with that little corner right there. I'm tapping. And you see, I never cleaned my paintbrush off. The reason why is because you see how I didn't clean my paintbrush off, and you can already see like some of that yellow that's already in the paintbrush. Just even though I only dipped in the brown, you can still see some of that yellow coming out onto, see, it's still there because it was still in my paintbrush. You can see it on my paintbrush. So by not cleaning off my paintbrush, I was able to pick up some of those yellows and burnt siennas that's already in there, and it already started making a cute little acorn for me. Okay, so I'm going to do the same thing again, but this time I'm going to need a little bit of that burnt sienna and what was that color again? Naples yellow. I'm going to need a little bit of it. So this is what I'm doing. I'm putting Naples yellow and burnt sienna on my paintbrush, but that's not the real color that I'm going to be using. I'm actually going to be using this burnt umber. I'm going to dab into the burnt umber, and the burnt umber is like the main color. Let's see if I can get it to, the burnt umber is like the main color on here, and the burnt umber is coming off. And then as the burnt umber comes off, you can also see some of the yellow come off as well, and a little bit of the burnt sienna. So it's all kind of mixing up in there. How cute are these already? Okay, so one thing that you may notice, I'm just going to get a towel real quick. The two tops of the acorns, or they kind of look like, excuse me, they kind of look like they're mixed up together. Like you can't see a nice transition between one acorn and the other. So we're going to work on that. And the way that we're going to work on that is we're going to make sure that we have a difference in values. So we want to make sure, and values is basically the lightness and the darkness of something. So in order to get a difference in values, what we want to do is we want to make sure that one of the tops of the acorns is lighter and one of the tops of the acorns is darker. And so that's gonna allow those two acorns to move away from one another. And one of them is gonna pop more than the other. So this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna make, this is the way that I'm thinking about it. Because this acorn is on top of this other one, like it's forward, it's in the front, then I'm going to make that part right here of this acorn much lighter because it's in the front. And then this little part right here in the back, I'm going to make that dark because that's going to be like the shadow of the second acorn. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my burnt sienna and my Naples yellow, and I'm going to come in a little bit lighter right in this area. Not too much. I'm going to add a little bit of burnt umber as well. Just going to make it a little bit lighter. And then I'm going to clean that off a little bit. I'm just wiping it off with a dry rag. I'm going to take my black and my burnt umber, and I'm going to come in much darker behind it on the other acorn. Okay, so look how you can already see the difference. So I've added more lightness here, and I added more darkness back here. And by doing that, you just gave that painting a whole nother dimension that allows, I was trying to make a brown, but I was not successful just now. That allows your eyes to see the difference in the two acorns. I'm adding just a little bit of gray in there just because I don't want it to be too brown. I want to add some fun. Okay, so there's the beginning of our acorns. What do y'all think? Pretty easy? Pretty easy, right? Oh, that Naples yellow is one of my favorites, Cindy, because it mixes so well with so many different browns and stuff. All right. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this same paintbrush, but now we're going to go and we're going to have some fun. We may have to fix some of our acorns because we're going to work with our leaves. And so to work with our leaves, I'm going to take this sap green and my Naples yellow, and I'm going to mix a really fun fall green, kind of like a gold green. And notice look what I'm doing. I am not painting. I call it mushing. Okay. I'm just kind of like making some leaves very loosely. Let's go around the sides. Just kind of scratching my canvas or my wood. Excuse me. Let me take a sip of water. That'll help me. All right, so I'm going to just come in here and make that green. I'm going to do that here too. So I know I went with all green leaves. You know, not all leaves in the fall time are green, right? Most of them are more of like a rust color. They're dead. So I'm going to grab some of this burnt sienna and I'm going to go into the green just a little bit more. And I'm going to use that color to go back over my leaf. And maybe I want my leaf to even be a little more orange. So like I have this cadmium orange right here. I don't know. I'm just playing around because I've never painted this before, but I'm just showing you, what I would do if this were something that I would want to paint. This is kind of the way I would do it. Just like kind of ad-libbing, I guess you could say, because it's so much fun. To me, it's so much more fun to paint something that you've never painted than to try to paint something that you've already painted. Because once you paint it, then you're like, okay, I have to try to recreate the same exact thing. And that's a lot harder to me than just painting something from scratch, just painting something new. So now I'm going to add some Naples yellow. Come in with some yellow in here. Let's get some more yellow. That yellow is so pretty. just kind of making the shape of a leaf. I don't know, maybe it's a leaf, maybe it's whatever you want it to be. And maybe not all of them will be the same color. Let's make this one a little brighter. And let's add a little burnt sienna in there. All right, let's clean that off. And I'm going to go back to the green. Just because I put one layer doesn't mean I'm done. I'm going to put another layer. I'm going to go back to the green. I'm going to bring in a little more of that green in there. And a little darker. Let's go with the white. We're going to start making our leaf have maybe a little bit of veins in it. And then some burnt umber. Going to make the branches poke out. Again, I want to keep this really loose. And the way that I paint, or to make sure I paint loose, is I paint fast. Paint everything fast. Let's make these branches. There's another branch here. Maybe, just maybe, I'm going to add a little color. Maybe there's another branch way over here. In the background. And another one over here. And then maybe there's a few little, maybe like a little berry. Some pretty orange would be good right there. There we go. Add a little pizzazz to it. We're going to make a few little berries. Now, normally I would use maybe some red, like an auburn color, but since that's not a color that we're going to be using tomorrow, I'm not going to pull it out right now. But this is a good little fun project. I'm going to also go back over the acorn itself in a few areas and add a little more shape to it, and we're going to add some fun to it as well. By fun, I mean a little color. Okay, so I have a very limited color palette right in front of me, and I don't want to pull in any more colors. But what I think would be fun to do is to add just a little variety. I'm going to take some of this blue. Not a lot of it. I'm going to take some of it off. I'm going to use it just a little stronger. It's the same blue. It's not a different blue. I'm going to grab just a teeny bit of the black. That's way too much black. Let me take some of that off. Black is so hard to grab just a little bit of. It's like so strong. And I'm just going to make, I'm not using any new colors. I'm just going to make another color that may give the background a little fun. So see what I did? I made just like a little darker background, and I'm bringing it in just to add some depth to my background. Kind of give it some movement, and then I can add that maybe to the sides. And this, my friends, is how you paint loose and quick and fast. And you know what? I forgot to paint the sides here with the little branches. So I'm going to go back. Don't think about it too hard. If you think about it too hard, then you're going to get to, see like that, I made the leaf go around. You're going to get too caught up in the little details, and that is not what we want. We did want the details right in the middle, like for the acorns, but after that, let's have some fun. Let's move around. Let's get some fun little pieces here. Maybe right on the end, there's some little. And sometimes you just make it up as you go. And then I'm going to take more white. And right on the top of the acorn, trying to use more white. I want a little bit of a brighter color. So I just used like white and yellow and a little bit of, what is that color? Burnt sienna. And I'm just coming back and giving it a little bit of flair. A little bit of brightness. So much fun. That's a lot of white. But it's okay. It's your painting. If you want more white, add more white. A little bit. There we go. That looks pretty good. I would probably make this area, and I'll show you what I'm going to do. I'm going to make this area right here just a teeny bit lighter, just because this color and this color are too close to the same color. So I'm going to come in and make this leaf a little bit lighter. And if I added that there, then I just kind of have to scrumble around and add that all right here. Perfect. Perfect. See how it kind of mutes it a little bit. I added the what color is it? Naples yellow. I added the Naples yellow, and it really did a great job. I don't know what this is. It's just something that I just wanted to do. So I thought it added a nice little touch there. So there you go, my friends. This is just a fun painting. And my objective here is to basically just show you how you don't have to know how to draw. You don't really have to have experience at painting. You can just accomplish something like this really simple by playing around. And you know what the best thing is about it? It's so freeing to be able to do something like this and just play. Just play. Just go ahead and you know, grab a paintbrush and say, all right, I just want to play today. And it's just so cute. I hope y'all like this, and I hope you enjoy painting this. Isn't it? Look how good it looks from this view too. Isn't that cute? And if I would add any color to this, it would probably be, like I said, like a maroon or something, and put like some little berries up there or something. But I didn't want to add any colors that weren't on the list of colors that I already told you that you had to have, because I wanted it to be a part of that. Okay. So the other thing I want to share with you today is, I'm looking very cute. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank y'all. Thank you. I can't wait to see what y'all do with it. The other thing I want to share with y'all today is the preparation for the board. So I'm going to just show you very little. I mean, it's not hard at all, but this is what I would do if I were you. If you're using this board that I have, this is a 7.87 by 29.92 board, and that, I think that's the inside part of it. I'm not really sure. I didn't measure it. But what I'm going to do first, and I would recommend you do the same thing. If you're using this board, or if you're using any type of board that's similar to this, and it already has a built-in frame on it, then what you're going to want to do before we begin is you're going to want to tape all around the interior, the inside right here. See how I started taping? I didn't do the whole thing because I wanted you to see the difference. This is not taped right here. So what I'm going to do now is just tape the rest of it with you. And this is pretty easy to do. I mean, I'm sure you know how to tape something to stop it from. I'm just using regular, what is this stuff called? Not Scotch tape. What do y'all call this? Yellow tape. I'm so sorry. Excuse me. What do they call this yellow tape? It's like that cream color tape that you buy at like Home Depot and stuff. Please help me because I can't. I can't remember. How am I doing with time? Okay, 7:48. Elizabeth goes live at 8, y'all. She's gonna be live after me. So we're gonna end this live, and then she's gonna come live on a separate video because it's just gonna be easier that way for y'all to find it. So I'm gonna tape all around the sides here. Masking tape. Thank y'all very much. I told y'all my brain is not working today, so y'all have to help me with this. So I have this side here taped down. Yeah, it's just plain old masking tape. That's all it is. And I'm going to put it down here. And I'm going to keep this on for the painting component. I'm not going to keep it on for the glass and resin, because if you pour the resin on here and the tape is still on here, then the tape is going to get stuck in the resin once it dries. So we're just going to keep the tape on here for the painting part, okay? And then once you print out whatever size, and I wanted to tell y'all something else too. Once you print out your template, and if you can't get it right, one of the things I noticed is it was a little bit small for my board. So I took my printer, like it didn't cover the whole board. It was a little small. So I took my printer and instead of putting it on 100%, I put it on 105%, and then it printed it out a little bit bigger. So if that happens to you, maybe you could try that because it worked for me. Also, you don't have to use this board. You could go to Home Depot, and I'm looking to see if I have one in here. I don't have one in here, but you could go to Home Depot and you could buy a piece of 1 inch thick, just a regular piece of wood from Home Depot or Lowe's. That's about 8 inches wide, or 10. Even if you do 10 inches wide, it would still look great. So you don't have to buy something like this that already has a frame around it. You can just go buy something else and use, because it's just kind of like a porch leaner, right? It's about the size of a porch leaner. And if you don't have a template the right size, please let us know. And all we have to do, I have a program that can resize the template for you with no problems. So I want to make sure you know that. If you want a different size, just let us know in the Facebook group. And I have a program that I pay for that I can stick a template into the program, and I press I want it to be 24 by 36 or whatever. And then boom, it just creates it. And I send it to you as a PDF, and you can print the PDF. It's already in the number of pages you need and all that good stuff. So don't hesitate to do that if you decide to make this in a different size. And so the last thing that we're going to do, which is only going to take a second, I'm just going to show you this last thing. I'm going to be using this carbon paper. It's tracing, the tracing paper. And what you do is you take your template, you put this tracing paper down here, or this carbon paper down here. And I'm not going to do the whole thing because I'm running out of time. And then you put your template on top, put it in place. I like to tape my template down so it doesn't move. And then once you get it all in place, then I like to take a pen, an ink pen that has a sharp edge. And then you just start tracing your template. And you just trace, trace, trace. I'm sure, most people have already done this before, but if you've never done this before, then this is all you have to do. And you're going to trace the whole thing, every little line. And then when you're done, you can take it off and voila. Oh, y'all can't see that, can you? Let me show you. And then you've got the owl, or you've got the whole template already transferred over to your board. So if you use a different board, I would suggest you paint it white first, since we're going to be starting on a white. This is a white background that we're going to be starting on. Even though we're going to paint it that really light blue color, I would suggest you paint it white first so that you kind of have the same experience. But you don't have to. If you want to use a different board and you want to start with a darker background, you are more than happy to do so. All right, so anybody have any questions? I am done, and it is going to be Elizabeth's turn. I'm going to end this live. I'm just looking. Painter's tape. Yes, Elizabeth, it is also called painter's tape. I'll be away the rest of the week. Okay. All right, Miss Pat. Thank you. Okay, I don't see any questions. It looks like I covered everything. I hope to see your beautiful little acorn painting like this one in the Facebook group. And we love you all. And we will see you again tomorrow night at 7. I will see you again tomorrow night at 7. And Elizabeth will be on now, starting live in just a couple of minutes. So she'll be on at 8. So we'll see you again in just a little bit. All right, guys, y'all have a great night. I'm sorry, I can't talk. Bye.